to join in. So whilst you're waiting, there is a poll to do in the chat on the right-hand side. Welcome to all our lovely customers who have joined today to learn more about our incident module, whether you already have it as part of your solution or whether you're interested in adding it on. Reliable incident management software is a key part of your health and safety management system, so I'll be taking you through a demo covering the key features of our module to help you get the most out of it. Before that though, we have Jonathan Finlay, one of our safety auditors, to cover what incident management entails, why it's so crucial to have a comprehensive procedure in place, and best practices from a safety consultant perspective. We'll also have time for a little Q&A at the end in case we haven't covered what you're after. And feel free to ask any questions as we go along in the chat at the side. We'll answer all of your queries as best we can. I'll hand over to Jonathan now to kick us off.
Hi everyone, morning. Thanks, Lizzie. As Lizzie says, I'm going to talk a bit more about incident reporting, RIDDORs, and what we can do as a business as a whole, really. So, is incident reporting a legal requirement? Yeah, it is. According to UK law, it's your legal responsibility to report certain incidents, near misses, and accidents to the HSE under the Reporting of Injuries, Diseases, and Dangerous Occurrence Regulations, RIDDOR 2013. 2013, which is the law it falls under. It was amended from the 1995 regulations, which took out some things and changed little bits and bobs. It is important to recognise that reporting an incident isn't an omission of liability. It helps a business be able to recognise trends, anything that they can do to improve the workplace for customers, employees, anything like that. And if you don't report an incident, the courts can impose a custodial prison sentence of up to 2 years for the responsible person or persons, and an unlimited fine of a business. So it is important that we report any incidents, really. So what is an incident, and what events do you need to report under RIDDOR? So an incident is an unplanned event. Certain incidents are reportable under RIDDOR, such as major incidents that can cause severe harm to the injured person or property. So the reportable incidents could be either deaths, specified injuries to workers, over 7-day injuries, over 7-day incapacitation of a worker, non-fatal injury to a member of the public, occupational diseases, gas incidents. So deaths, obviously all deaths workers and non-workers must be reported if they arise from a workplace incident. Specified injuries. These have replaced the previous list of major incidents from the RIDDOR of 1995, as I say, when it was amended in 2013. And the specified injuries consist of fractures, other than fingers, thumbs and toes, amputations, any injury likely to lead to permanent loss of sight or reduction in sight, any crush injury to the head or torso, which can cause damage to the brain or internal organs, any serious burns, including scalding, which cover more than 10% of the body, or which can cause significant damage to the eyes, respiratory system, or other vital organs of the person, any scalping injuries that require hospital treatment, any loss of consciousness caused by head injuries or asphyxia, or any other injury arising from working in an enclosed space, which could lead to hypothermia, heat-induced illness, or something that requires resuscitation or admittance to hospital for more than 24 hours. All of them specified injuries should be reported to the HSE as soon as the injury is being confirmed. An over 7-day incapacitation of a worker is where an accident occurred and either the worker has been off work for 7 days or can't do their normal working duties for 7 days. And then the 7-day period doesn't include the date of the incident, but includes rest days, weekdays, and this type of report should really be made within the first 15 days of the incident happening. And then any accident that requires a worker to be incapacitated for 3 days, it's not a RIDDOR, but it should be recorded internally in your own incident reporting procedure, either on the Navitas incident module or in the incident book, or however you record incidences. A non-fatal injury to a member of the public. So accidents to any member of the public or other people who aren't at work must be reported if they result in an injury and the person is directly taken from the scene of the accident to the hospital for treatment. Examinations and diagnostic tests don't constitute as treatment in such circumstances, so there's no need to report incidents where people are taken to hospital purely as a precaution or when there's no injury is apparent to them. If the accident occurs at a hospital, if you work in a hospital, the report only needs to be made if the injury is a specific injury that we've just been through. As well as the injuries we've just said, there are a number of occupational diseases, if diagnosed by a GP, that require reporting under RIDDOR, and these are carpal tunnel syndrome, severe cramp of the hand or forearm, occupational dermatitis, hand-arm vibration syndrome, occupational asthma, tendinitis, any occupational cancer, and any disease attributed to an occupational exposure to a biological agent. As well as all them incidents which happen to people, there are also dangerous occurrences which, if they take place, need reporting as well. And these will be the collapse or overturning or failure of a load-bearing part of lifts and lifting equipment, any plant or equipment coming into contact with overhead power lines, and the accidental release of any substance which could cause injury to a person. And then the final incident that needs reporting under RIDDOR is a gas incident, which any gas incident where distributors, fillers, importers, or suppliers must report is where someone's either died, lost consciousness, or been taken to hospital for treatment to an injury arising in connection with that gas supply. So, how do you report an incident and who is responsible for this? So you report a RIDDOR reportable incident through the HSE website. Once you submit your report, well, once you click on the link to submit your report, there's several different options relating to what type of incident it was that we've just been through. Either it be specified injury, death, over 7-day incapacitation. So you then click the link that's applicable to your incident, and then you'll be able to then fill in the applicable sections that apply. Yeah, and then it's the person responsible for reporting the incidents are employers, self-employed, and people in control of the workplace, be it a manager, health and safety manager. They're the people who are responsible for reporting these incidents. And then You can also if you have the Navitas Instant module, there's a RIDDOR report form on there, so you would fill that in, and then the link from there will take you to the HSE website to then fill it in properly. And why is instant reporting important, and how does it help your business? Obviously, having a good instant reporting system in place is an important tool for a business, as it allows a business to stay safe, accessible, and compliant in a health and safety perspective. It also helps the business to see any trends and root causes of any incidents that may develop within their businesses, which then allow the business to allocate appropriate funds for additional training, PPE, different types of machinery or equipment, or anything else that would improve the workplace and reduce the amount of injuries and incidents that cause, and will help mitigate the risk of these accidents and everything. It also becomes beneficial for a business as it reduces the cost in any retraining or training employees, having to bring in new employees and spending time training them up. And it keeps a happy workforce and minimises staff turnover. So that's when you know it's a good business, really. And the best practice for instant reporting would be at the time of the incident to get as much information as possible and write things down, as your memory can be foggy after incident, and your memory can fade and you can forget little bits which can help your incident, which at the time you know, but then when you go to write the report in maybe a day's time or later that day, you might have forgotten about, and take photos, CCTV, anything that would help with the incident and help then action it. And then these should all be filed with the report as well. So yeah, and any questions about any best practices or anything, if you want to pop them in the chat and we can answer them in the Q&A section. And now I'll hand it back to Lizzy, who will carry on with the instant module.
Perfect. Thank you, Jonathan. I'm now going to walk you through the incident module, demonstrating how it can be used to manage incidents effectively throughout your business. Incident reports are all built using templates within the system. We have a number of generic templates which will be applied to your platform. However, we can also create bespoke templates to create reports tailored to your business. Any custom forms can be created to include customer categories of your choice, giving a completely personalised incident solution. Any incident reports can be made private as they're generated, meaning that only the user who is submitting the report and dedicated next sign-off will be able to see it. This can be used for highly sensitive incidents and those of a confidential nature. The incident module also incorporates a RIDDOR and HSE submission log, allowing you to fully complete RIDDOR reports within the platform. In addition to this, there is an absence tracker function, which can allow you to keep track of lost time due to employee absence following a particular incident. Now, let's jump onto the platform and take a look at the incident module in action. I'm just going to share my screen. There we go. So you'll see your initial dashboard giving you a general overview of compliance within your business, dependent on the modules that you have with Navitas. Moving to incident, I'm going to start by talking you through creating a new incident. So when you navigate over to the new incident tab, you'll be greeted with a list of all of the templates that you have applied to your platform. Today, we're going to generate a health and safety incident. So you simply just click on there, create new incident. It will give you your template that you're using, and you simply just press create. Wait for it to load. Once created, the form will guide you through the relevant information required to create a comprehensive incident report. Instructions will be at the top here to give you guidance of filling in the form, and it will then move into incident report information. So you simply just overtype in here. It'll ask you for dates, and you'll get a little pop-up for a calendar there. It will give you pop-up options for the time. And then it will also ask you initially the type of incident. So here, you can see we've got 3 options for this health and safety one. For incident causing injury, it will populate a certain set of questions. But as you change these, the question set will populate to ensure that all information is relevant to the specific issue. So as you can see here, if we put, for example, it's a safety hazard incident, and then we go down, it will ask you all the different information that the incident log requires to be filled in. So type of hazard, all of these will be here for you. So if we say there's an equipment failure, for example, and then causes, again, it will give you a whole list of different ones that you can select. Obviously, if your option isn't in there, you can free type in here as well. It'll ask for a detailed summary and then details of the injured person. So this is just an example to sort of show you through. I'm not going to make you sit and watch while I fill in a whole one. I have got one that I made earlier in the under construction tab. Whilst we're in this under construction tab, it's a really great time to talk about how useful this feature is. This allows you to keep all of your incident reporting in as a draft. So for example, if you have started an incident but you don't have all of the information available yet, then you can leave it in here to be completed at a later date. If you haven't got time to fill it in there and then, you can start it and then just keep it in there. Just sort of acts as a bit of a drafts folder really for you. As well, this section is accessible from our compliance app. Going on to the compliance app, you can actually fill in incident reports offline, and then they will sync to your platform when you're back on the internet. So if your site has really poor internet connection, an incident occurs and you want to report it there and then, you can still do all of that, access all of this, and then simply when you're back near some Wi-Fi, you can connect and it will sync all back into your platform for you. So I'm just going to go into the one that I conveniently made earlier. So I did one for a burn. So as you'll see, it's the same form, but I've just pre-filled it in with everything for you. So I've got dates, times, the type of incident. It'll ask for address. So for this one, for an injury, you'll see it gave the pop-up here for the type of injury. Detailed summary of incident. It'll ask you if first aid treatment's been provided. If it has, it'll ask who gave it, and you can add in more than one person on there as well. Go through to the next stages. Any witness details you can pop in here as well. Any witness statements that you may collect. If you've got these on a different format, you can upload these here and it will just let you click in and put anything on from your computer. If it was captured on CCTV, then you will have the option to put in the details about that here and upload the files. If it wasn't, then that's fine, you just select no. And it will, at the end, ask you for any corrective actions that you want to put in place to stop something like this happening again. So as I've done it as a burn, because the deep fat fryer wasn't being used properly. So my corrective action would be training and using the deep fat fryer safely, who needed to conduct that, and when it needed to be completed by. There may be actions that you want done immediately. There may be some that may take a few weeks for you to implement, but obviously that's completely bespoke to you guys. So if we go next, it will then ask you to sign it off to confirm that everything is accurate. Save, there we go. So once saved, the incident report will give you a summary of the information submitted so far, allowing you to review it and make sure everything is as you need it to be. If you're happy with all of that and you don't need to do any more updates, then you can sign it off. Sign it off, so you sign it off, adding in any necessary comments. The sign-off processes can be tailored to the needs of your business. For this demonstration, incident reports created by a site manager must then be signed off by a HQ manager. But for your incident reporting, you can add in sign-off by any other user level or allow site managers to even sign off their own incident. It's completely bespoke to you. The timeline history will allow you to see where in the hierarchy the incident is currently sitting. An email notification will be sent to each user in the flow once a new incident is created. You can also set up email notifications to be sent for when one is just in under construction, when one's been signed off. The email notifications can be tailored to exactly how much information you want to be sent out. but that can all be discussed when we are setting up the platforms for you. So this has now been signed off, sent to the HQ manager. So this incident is now sitting in our incident library. You can see it here on the top. I'm going to switch to the HQ manager login to show you the next steps in the process. So let me just log out here. Just wait for that to load. There we go. So into compliant. So when logging in this HQ manager, you'll see the overview dashboard again, the same as when you're in Site Manager, and you can navigate to incidents in the same way. Obviously, if anyone who's logged into this has already got compliance modules with us, then you'll recognise this this platform. So you've got the same drop downs here for incident. So if I navigate to incident library, then we'll see the incident that's just been created at Site Manager level. You see that's popped up here, and the ID number that it's got on. At HQ login, at HQ login, you're able to view the details of the incident. You can download a PDF, a spreadsheet, or open an investigation. Investigations are only able to be opened at HQ level, and they allow a deeper investigation into an existing incident. Once an incident has been created and signed off, it's accurate and representative of a fixed point in time, obviously when the initial incident occurred. To protect the integrity of the data, completed incidents aren't able to be edited, and this is where the investigations feature comes in. So if you've got your incident and then any further information comes to light regarding the initial incident, then this can be linked via an investigation. The feature can also be used if a complainant returns after a period of time, stating that their problems caused by the incident are ongoing. Investigations give flexibility to the incident module by allowing further details to be linked as and when required. Unlike incidents, investigations can also be closed and reopened as necessary. So I'm just going to walk you through opening an investigation. So we've got here. So if we go into more and then open investigation. So when you open an investigation, the form will guide you through the relevant information that's required. So it'll ask you details. So if it's to do with the burn, we could say that the complainant is suffering from skin problems 6 months later. Now the root causes, you can have as many of these root causes put in as you'd like to. So we've got management failure and training issue in here, so we'll pop both of those on there for you. As I say, you can have as many of those needed, as many of those put into the system as you need. If you've given out a customer care number to the person, then you can pop that in there. If there are insurances involved, you can pop in a claim number there. And then there's an upload files feature. So that can be for anything like doctor's notes, any further employer statements, or any other information, medical bills, that you want to be attached to the investigation to sort of show why you're opening it. So for the purposes of today, we're not going to add on any document. So we're just going to open that investigation. So as you can see, it's linked it to the initial investigation here. And the investigation page then acts like a WhatsApp conversation between the person who raised the incident and the person who is conducting the investigation. So different comments and notes can be added from the users involved. So as you can see here, we've got sort of a summary of what's going on. And I should pop in here. I mean, I'm just pulling this off the top of my head, but you can put in the kind of information that you'd want. It could be something like, we want to recheck the CCTV, or we could put, for example, logs has sent in a doctor's letter regarding the skin grafts. But I'm just doing this to show you how it sort of works with the different names. So as you can see here, if I was logged in as a site manager, it would obviously come up with the site manager login there, and you can talk backwards and forwards regarding any information that you need to pop on there. It's got the same private feature here, which locks that investigation down. So if it's something confidential of an extremely sensitive nature, something that you do not want anyone else to see, then you lock it down with that private button, and that keeps it secure. So you don't have to worry about things getting out. So as well on here, you've got action plans that can be generated. These are linked to the corrective actions that I sort of mentioned earlier. So if we go into action plans, and we wait for it to load, there we go. So you can select from pre-populated, or you can post your own. So if we go into pre-populated, there will be a list here available. Again, these are all popped into the platform for you, and you can create your own as well. And these are action plans to stop the incidents occurring again. So as you can see here, we've got your defect, your corrective action, and when you want your action required by. The pre-populated ones help you save a bit of time if it's something that's happened previously or something quite common. I mean, then you've got it there. If it's something that's a little bit more bespoke for an incident that hasn't happened before, then you can create your own, which I'll show you in a sec. So the wet floor sign isn't applicable to the burn, but we'll say that it is for today. All I'd do is submit that there. Let me just wait for it to load. Apologies, I think I'm having internet issues. There we go. So that's then popped in that action plan there. So as you can see here, it's incomplete. That will ping back down to site manager level, and they'll be able to then log in and complete it, complete the action by the date that it needs to be completed by, and that will all link into the incident. If you wanted to do your own, so insufficient cleaning fryer, fryer action required by, the same, for example, Friday, submit. There we go. So you can see I've got 2 actions there. You can have as many as you want on there, and they'll all be listed. And then as soon as they're done, they're complete. So you can see then as part of your investigation, you will have, let's go back to this way. As part of your investigation, you will then have a comprehensive action plan for things to be completed. So as I said, excuse me, any action plans can then be completed at site manager level and the investigation can be closed. As I previously mentioned, at any point the investigation can be open and closed as needed. So if more information comes to light, you can pop that on. It's the incident itself that cannot be open to protect the integrity of the data. So alongside the reporting of the incidents and the investigations, the incident module itself does have a comprehensive management reporting feature, which allows you to generate reports for your health and safety records. As you can see here, these can be categorized dependent on the type of information you're looking for. For example, incidents per site or type of injured person. And they can report, the reports can be generated into any format that you require them to be. So they're easy to access and relevant data when you need it. So I'm going to stop sharing this tab now because I just want to show you a little bit about the Navitas Insight. I'll stop sharing there. There we go. So for reporting that's a little bit more visual and personalised, we have our Insights dashboard. Now this takes all of your data from the compliance modules and presents it in a completely personalised format, giving you bespoke data visualisations and insights across your business. These can be completely tailored to the data that you want to see, as well as designed with your company's colour scheme in mind, giving fantastic visuals for board pack reporting. Alongside our self-incident reporting module, our health and safety consultants can offer support and guidance on rectifying any issues surrounding incidents. Our managed incident service provides a full incident triage to cover food safety, health and safety, and fire safety related incidents. Our specialists can create a crisis procedure plan for you, providing actions to be taken should a particular incident occur. This service gives you peace of mind knowing that you are resolving incidents with suitable corrective action plans. My colleague Kelly will be sending out some further information on this service later this month, so please keep your eye out for that in your inbox. Thank you so much for watching the demonstration of our incident module. I really hope you found it useful. I'm now going to hand back over to Jonathan, who will talk you through some common questions that we get. If there's anything else that you'd like to know, then please pop it into the chat bar and we'll answer as many as we can. Anything that goes unanswered will be replied to after the webinar.
Yeah, so I can see in the chat box there's no questions, but if you want to pop some in, we can answer them during this. But I'll quickly run some through some common questions that we get asked as a consultancy or on the triage team, the incident support team. So, do I need a paper accident book if I'm using Navitas Safety? No, you don't. But some clients do still keep a record sheet, like an incident sheet to hand, or in an accessible location, be it the reception, someone's office, somewhere like by the first aid kit. So you can be able to note down any key information at the time of the incident. Because obviously during an incident, it can be quite frantic when dealing with the injured person, people around them. So noting down these bits of information can help in completing the Navitas form that Lizzy's just been through, or any potential RIDDOR forms that you've done. And as well, submitting them through Navitas, they still need to be submitted in a timely manner. The incident support team can see what's under construction and can chase yourselves or other clients to submit it through to us, and then we can investigate it, action it, do stuff like that. I completed Navitas records held safely and how long for? All records are held safely and securely within the system with only access to yourselves or the incident support team, and held indefinitely, and any associated records must be retained indefinitely with them. So as Lizzy was saying, when you go through the report form, if you can add as many documents to it, they'll be there indefinitely as well. Witness statements, photos, they're there. Will I be penalised in any way for completing a health and safety HSE RIDDOR report for an incident that's not legally reportable? No, there's no penalty for completing a RIDDOR report for an accident that doesn't meet the required criteria. It's likely to be reviewed by the local authority or the HSE, and then they mark it on their system as not needing any further action, and they'll email you to tell you that. But to ensure accuracy of reporting and stats, and to avoid any unnecessary local authority action, the criteria should be followed for the instance needed. If an employee has an accident at work but remains on light duties for 2 weeks at the recommendation of a GP, does this meet the over 7-day injury criteria? Yeah, it does, because employees need to be able to do the full range of duties after an incident. So when returning to work or still being at work after an incident, they still need to do the full line of duties, which obviously in this case the person hasn't, so is RIDDOR reportable, and you would want that reported within 15 days of the accident. And finally, if an employee fell on the way to work on a public footpath and was injured, do you have a duty to report? No, it shouldn't be reported under RIDDOR, but you should record it either on the Navitas system or just internally, so you have a record of it, but it's not RIDDOR reportable because the person wasn't at work.
Perfect. Thank you, Jonathan. So I can't see any questions in the chat bot. So thank you everyone for attending our customer discovery session today. As always, these sessions are aimed at helping you get the most out of your safety solutions with us. Later this month, we'll share some more information on incident management, going more in depth into our incident support team service, so keep your eyes peeled. To go with today's session, we've got a few free resources to support you further, including our new blog, 5 game-changing advantages of incident reporting software, and a solution sheet on the main features of our module. You can access all of these in the chatbot now. If you've not already got the incident module and you'd be interested in implementing it for your business and discussing it further, please vote yes in the chatbot poll, and your account manager will reach out to you to support you with this. If you've got any other questions, please feel free to email hello@navitassafety.com and we'll get back to you shortly. Thanks again for your time. Just before you go, there is another poll as well about if you would like a chat with account management about incidents, and that means that we can reach out to you directly. Take care, everyone. Thank you.